Stop pretending a crossover is the responsible family choice just because it looks cooler. You are paying more for smaller doors, tighter rows, and less useful space. Minivans look boring, but they solve family life better and cheaper. Today, we are counting 7 ignored vans worth buying. Number 1 is the Toyota Window Smart Families Hunt. Number 7. Mazda 5, 2012 to 2015. Tiny sliding doors can save a family more stress, money, and parking lot dents than a taller crossover ever will. That is the part buyers miss. The so-called boring shape is exactly what makes loading kids, bags, and groceries easier. The Mazda 5 is the minivan for people who swear they do not want a minivan because it is really a microvan mixed with a wagon. We like the 2012 to 2015 Sport, Touring, or Grand Touring models, especially family-owned examples with records and no neglected high-mile story. Under the hood is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, with manual or automatic choices depending on year and trim. It seats 6, uses front-wheel drive, and commonly returns around 24 combined miles per gallon, which is decent for something with 3 rows and sliding doors. Real family use is where it wins. Think small families, city drivers, grandparents who haul kids twice a week, school pickup lines, airport bags, grocery runs, and families who need easier kid loading without the bulk of a full-size van. Used prices usually fall around $4,500 to $10,000, with many examples around $5 to $9 grand, depending on miles and trim. What beats a comparable crossover? Sliding doors that do not smash the next car, a lower floor for kids and older knees, useful seating without a huge footprint, cheaper tires, and easier parking. A compact crossover may look cooler, but try loading a sleeping toddler in a tight parking space. Then tell me image matters. The honest weak spots are rear tire wear, front suspension wear, engine mounts, rust in harsh climates, thermostats, brake calipers, and transmission control module issues. Inspect the sliding doors, rear tire wear, suspension clunks, cargo floor stains, and rust underneath. Also, check the third row folding, seat belts, hatch struts, and air conditioning at idle, because small family vans get used hard in summer traffic. If the rear tires are chopped on the inside edge, budget alignment, and suspension work before calling it cheap. I would also look for booster seat scars and cargo scratches, because those are normal, but wet carpet is not. Street reality matters here. At this price, expect scratched bumpers, stained cloth, noisy cabin trim, and tired shocks. That is normal. What is not normal is overheating, slipping shifts, a rusty structure, or doors that refuse to latch. Cosmetic family wear is acceptable. Mechanical mystery is where the repair bill hides. Dealers know families feel embarrassed by minivans, so they use the image against you and push a costlier crossover with less real space. A dealer trick here is simple. They dismiss it as too small, then push a compact crossover with worse access and a bigger payment. Do not let them define useful for you. If the Mazda 5 fits your real week, it is not too small. It is efficient. And the next van is bigger, softer, cheaper than it looks. And loaded with family features buyers forget to price correctly. If this straight family car talk helps you, subscribe. We show reliable vans, costly crossover traps, and simple checks before you overpay. Number 6. Chrysler Town & Country. 3.6, 2011 to 2014. Loaded family features become a bargain only when every switch, door, and seat still works. And that is the Chrysler lesson. For this entry, stay with 2011 to 2014 Town & Country models, because that is the cleaner Pentastar V6 window. The older 2010 vans use different V6 engines, so they do not fit this specific pick. Touring, Touring L, and limited trims are the ones families usually see, and they can be packed with leather seating, rear entertainment, stow and go, blind spot help, power doors, and road trip comfort. The 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 gives enough power to move the van without feeling miserable, and the automatic transmission makes it easy for anyone in the house to drive. Real family use is obvious. School duty, road trips, booster seats, grandparents, sports bags, strollers, folding chairs, and cargo flexibility without removing seats and stacking them in the garage. The stow-and-go setup is the killer feature. Crossovers love bragging about cargo space, but many cannot touch the way this van turns from people mover to furniture hauler in a few minutes. Used prices often sit around $4,000 to $9,000, with low-mileage clean vans higher. What beats a comparable crossover? Low-load floor, huge cargo room, sliding doors, real third-row access, better road trip comfort, and seats that disappear instead of becoming a storage problem. The weak spots are transmission behavior, electrical accessories, sliding doors, HVAC blend doors, Pentastar oil cooler leaks, suspension wear, and interior abuse. Test every family feature before talking price. Open both sliding doors 10 times. Fold every seat. Run the rear heat and air. Try the DVD system if equipped. Check for leaks, warning lights, clunks, and rough shifts. Look underneath for rusted rockers and rear suspension points, because cheap family vans often lived through salted winters and ignored car washes. Check the oil cooler area for wetness, because a small seep can become an annoying repair. On the road, the transmission should shift smooth, not slam, hunt, or hesitate. Street reality is rougher than the brochure. Expect worn armrests, broken headphones, crumbs in every rail, and plastic panels scratched by years of kids. That is family life. But if the rear air, sliding doors, and seat folding do not work, the van loses the very reason you bought it. The dealer trick is calling it loaded to justify a tired van. Loaded means nothing if the door's grown, the screen is dead, and the rear air blows warm. I would rather buy a plain van with working basics than a fancy one full of broken luxury. The next one is newer, quieter, and still ignored because buyers do not trust the badge yet. Number 5. Kia Sedona 2015 to 2018. Badge memory keeps prices lower, and that is why the right Sedona gives serious, practical family value. We are looking at 2015 to 2018 Sedona models in L, LX, EX, SX, or SX limited trim, with clean private owner history, normal tires, and service records that make sense. The drivetrain is a 3.3-liter V6 with a 6-speed automatic, and the van can seat 7 or 8, depending on trim. It also carries a 21.1-gallon fuel tank and can tow up to 3,500 pounds when properly equipped, which matters for small trailers, bikes, and weekend family gear. Real family use is the whole argument. This is for buyers who want a newer-feeling van without Toyota or Honda money, especially for kid duty, highway trips, errands, big grocery runs, and grandparents who need easy entry. The cabin is wider and more family-focused than most crossovers in this price range. Used prices usually run $7,000 to $16,000, with earlier or higher mile examples under 10 grand, and cleaner later trims higher. What beats a comparable crossover? Real sliding doors, better child seat access, a more usable third row, lower cargo loading, and a cabin built for family chaos instead of pretending to be outdoorsy. The honest weak spots are sliding doors, electronics, suspension wear, engine oil leaks, transmission service history, and the normal interior damage that happens when kids actually live in a vehicle. Inspect door operation, rear hatch, second row seat tracks, transmission shifts, oil leaks, rear HVAC, tire wear, and accident history. I would run every power door from the handle, the remote, and the cabin switch, because intermittent door faults become miserable during school mornings. Check seat rails for sticky movement, look under floor mats for spills, and make sure the rear camera wakes up quickly. Street reality is simple. A Sedona under Toyota money may have higher miles, worn leather, tired tires, and a few parking lot scars. Fine. What you cannot accept is harsh shifting, oil smell, wet carpet, or doors that need a shoulder shove. Family values only work when the family features still work. Add one more rule. If kids cannot climb in safely and doors cannot work smoothly, the crossover you skipped starts looking reasonable again quickly. A Sedona that feels smooth, quiet, and stable on the highway can be a steal. A Sedona with sticky doors, warning lights, bald tires, and no records is just a cheaper problem. The dealership trick is comparing it to a Sienna price and saying, "Look how much you save." Savings only matter if the van is healthy. Service history and door function matter more than the badge discount. Do not buy the story, buy the inspection. The next van is cheaper, rougher, and possibly the most honest family hauler on the whole list. Number 4. Dodge Grand Caravan 3.6 2011 to 2014. Plain vans make the best budget family tools when the price stays honest, and the Grand Caravan is the cheapest real hauler many families still ignore. We want 2011 to 2014 Main Street SXT Crew or R/T models with the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 and automatic transmission. That engine makes 283 horsepower, and it gives enough pull for highway merging, packed school runs, weekend trips, and furniture runs without feeling weak. The real family use case is simple: big family, tight budget, sports bags, strollers, work gear, groceries, grandparents, and the random Saturday when somebody needs a dresser moved. A crossover talks about flexibility. This Dodge actually gives it. Stow-and-go seating turns the cabin from people mover to cargo box fast, and that matters when your life changes by the hour. Used prices usually sit around $4,500 to $9,000, which is why these vans still make sense if inspected hard. What beats a comparable crossover? Huge cargo flexibility, sliding doors, cheap used parts, lower buy-in, and real seating access. A compact crossover cannot touch that when kids, bags, and car seats are involved. The honest weak spots are transmission issues, Pentastar oil cooler leaks, electrical problems, sliding door and latch wear, worn suspension, rust, and interiors beaten up by family duty. Test both sliding doors, every seat latch, rear air, power windows, warm transmission shifts, and brake feel. Look underneath for rust and check for an oil smell near the engine valley. I would also check the spare tire area, jack storage, seat tracks, and rear vents, because family vans hide spills and broken plastic where buyers forget to look. If the interior smells like coolant, mildew, or burnt oil, slow down. That is not character. That is a warning. The dealer trick is selling it as cheap monthly family transportation while packing fees, service contracts, and add-ons onto a van that should be cheap cash. Do not let a low payment hide a bad van. A good Grand Caravan should feel basic, useful, and predictable. A bad one feels loose, sticky, and tired before you even leave the lot. If every door works, the transmission shifts clean, and the coolant and oil areas stay dry, this Dodge can beat crossover prices by doing the family job without pretending to be stylish. The next van is the one buyers trust more, but the transmission conversation has to be honest. Subscribe if you want smarter family car picks without dealership smoke. We compare space, repairs, prices, and real kid duty value before you buy. Number 3. Honda Odyssey, 2011 to 2013. Honda's trust can make buyers lazy, and that is why the Odyssey needs a grown man inspection before anyone pays the badge tax. The target is a 2011 to 2013 Odyssey LX, EX, EXL, Touring or Touring Elite, with clean service history and no transmission shudder. Under the hood is a 3.5-liter V6 with an automatic transmission, and the van gives real 8-seat family space, about 38.4 cubic feet behind the seats, and up to 148.5 cubic feet when opened up. That is not a crossover marketing space. That is vacation luggage, strollers, sports gear, folding chairs, coolers, and grandparents in one vehicle. The use case is large families, highway trips, car seats, school lines, airport runs, and parents who want the easiest loading possible. Sliding doors matter. Low floors matter. A real third row matters. The transmission caveat is simple. This generation is not the early 2000 Odyssey disaster story, but you still do not buy one with shudder, delayed shifts, dirty fluid, or no transmission service records. Some owners report shuddering at lower speeds or during shifts, and power sliding doors can become annoying if neglected. Price range usually sits around $8,000 to $16,000, depending on trim, mileage, and records. What beats a comparable crossover? More usable third row, lower load floor, huge cargo room, better child seat access, road trip comfort, and flexible seating that actually works for families. Weak spots include transmission shudder, VCM-related concerns, engine mounts, sliding doors, power tailgate, timing belt service, rear HVAC, and suspension wear. The keep or buy checklist is timing belt proof, warm transmission behavior, sliding door operation, rear air, motor mounts, tire wear, and suspension clunks. Do not accept it just needs a reset when a power door refuses to close. That can become costly fast. Also watch the front engine mount on a cold start and light throttle shift. If the van thumps hard, the repair is not imaginary. Ask about transmission fluid service, because a smooth fluid history matters more than a shiny detail job. Look for uneven rear tire wear too, because loaded family vans can chew tires when alignment and suspension are ignored. The dealer trick is leaning on the Honda badge to overcharge for a van that still needs timing belt service, tires, transmission service, and door repairs. Badge trust is not a repair receipt. A good Odyssey should feel smooth, solid, and family-ready. A worn one will shake, shudder, clunk, and still be priced like a prize because it says Honda. Do the math like a mechanic, not a fan. If it passes, it can embarrass crossovers for space and comfort. The next van is the Toyota family's Chase, but the older front-drive version is where the smarter money starts. Number 2. Toyota Sienna FWD 2011 to 2014. Toyota demand is real here because families know a clean Sienna does the job better than almost any crossover pretending to be practical. The smart target is a 2011 to 2014 front-wheel drive Sienna, especially LE, XLE, or limited trims. I would focus on front-wheel drive unless all-wheel drive is truly needed, because it keeps complexity lower and tire costs calmer. Many examples use the 3.5-liter V6 with a 6-speed automatic, and the setup makes about 266 horsepower, with front-wheel drive standard, all-wheel drive optional, and towing up to 3,500 pounds when properly equipped. Real family use is where this thing shines. Long road trips, school duty, car seats, sports gear, camping gear, airport luggage, pets, grandparents, and the kind of weekly errands that make compact crossovers feel cramped. Seating for 7 or 8 and cargo volume around 150 cubic feet explain why these vans keep their value. That is massive utility. Price range usually runs from $9,000 to $18,000 depending on miles, trim, and condition. It is not cheap by accident. It is expensive to use because families have already learned the hard truth. A Sienna beats most crossovers with huge cargo space, sliding doors, Toyota drivetrain trust, a lower load floor, better kid access, and a cabin that feels built for real life, not showroom image. Honest weak spots include sliding doors, water pump seepage, timing cover leaks, rear HVAC, struts, interior wear, and high-mile suspension. Inspect both sliding doors, rear hatch struts, tire wear, coolant seepage, transmission shifts, rear air, seat tracks, and underbody rust. Watch for timing cover seepage being brushed off as normal. Small seepage can stay small, but you still price it into the deal. If the van has all-wheel drive, check tire matching and service history even harder, because mismatched tires can create extra driveline stress. On front-wheel drive models, listen for axle clicks, wheel bearing hum, and front strut noise. Those are not deal killers, but they are negotiation tools. One more thing, do not let a salesman shame the van shape. The shape is an advantage. It loads kids more easily, carries luggage more flatly, and keeps doors from smashing parked cars. A crossover may photograph better, but the Sienna lives better during a rainy school pickup with tired parents and full hands. That is why families keep paying a lot of money for clean ones. They are not buying style, they are buying fewer arguments, easier trips, and less daily wrestling with seats, bags, and tight parking spaces. That matters every single week, not just on vacation, for real working families. The dealer trick is using Toyota's reputation to justify a high price, even when the van needs tires, brakes, doors, suspension work, or leak repairs. Do not pay top money for a van with bottom-level maintenance. A strong Sienna should feel stable, quiet, and confident at 70 miles per hour. It should not pull, clunk, overheat, or slam into gear. Look inside like a parent, not a shopper. Are the seatbelts clean? Do the rear vents blow cold? Do the seats fold without a fight? Does the cargo floor smell dry? These details matter because family vehicles live hard lives. If everything works, the Sienna becomes a long-term tool that makes a 3-row crossover look like a compromise with nicer marketing. And number 1 is the ladder Sienna window that gives families the best mix of polish, durability, and real-world value. Number 1, Toyota Sienna, 2015 to 2017. Later, Sienna's years make the crossover argument look weak, expensive, and honestly a little silly. We are looking at 2015 to 2017 Sienna L, LE, SE, XLE, or Limited, and I would stay front-wheel drive unless you truly need all-wheel drive for snow. The 3.5-liter V6 has enough power for packed road trips, school runs, airport luggage, and grandparents in the back without feeling strained. Fuel economy is not magic, but around 21 combined miles per gallon is fair when the van gives this much space. Family use is where it wins. One vehicle can handle school, vacations, groceries, pets, strollers, sports bags, elderly parents, and the random furniture run that turns a crossover into a cramped joke. Cargo room can reach about 150 cubic feet. 8-seat setups exist, and towing can reach 3,500 pounds when properly equipped. That is real utility, not showroom fantasy. Used prices usually run $12,000 to $22,000, depending on trim, miles, drivetrain, and history. That is not cheap, but it is cheaper than buying a newer crossover that gives less access and less family room. What beats a comparable crossover? Sliding doors, a lower load floor, a better third row, easier child seat access, long-haul comfort, and Toyota demand that keeps resale strong. Honest weak spots are high-use prices, sliding door cables, rear hatch struts, water pump seepage, oil leaks, suspension wear, worn interiors, and family abuse. Inspect both sliding doors, rear air, hatch operation, seat tracks, tire wear, brake life, transmission shifts, coolant leaks, and underbody rust. Open each door from the key, handle, and dash switch, because weak cables love to work once and fail when your hands are full. Fold the third row flat, check the cargo well for moisture, and smell the rear carpet. Wet van smell means leaks, neglect, and trouble. Do not let a dealer say Toyota holds value and dodge negotiation, while the van needs tires, brakes, doors, or struts. Value does not erase repairs. A strong Sienna should drive smoothly, stable, and quietly at 70 miles per hour. It should not clunk, overheat, slam gears, or smell like coolant. Check the front tires for edge wear, because heavy vans reveal alignment problems fast. Listen for rear suspension knocks over rough pavement, and make sure the rear climate controls blow cold and hot. If kids ride back there, rear air is not a luxury. It is survival. If your week includes daycare, hardware runs, grocery bags, and older parents, this van is not really a compromise. It is the tool a crossover keeps pretending to be for normal families today. This is number one because families often need function, not image. The Sienna does real life better than most crossovers, and it does it without pretending. Buyer rule close. Do not buy a minivan because it is cheap. Buy it because it passes family duty checks. Test both sliding doors, rear hatch, rear air conditioning, third row folding, seat tracks, cargo floor wear, tire age, brake life, transmission shift feel, coolant leaks, and underbody rust. Never let a dealer call any van family ready until every feature works in front of you. A clean van should make school runs, grocery loading, airport bags, and long highway trips easier, not create fresh stress. The right minivan is not embarrassing. Overpaying for a crossover that does less is embarrassing. If this saves you money, subscribe. We show reliable family haulers, costly crossover traps, and simple checks before you buy. Click the video on your screen next. We'll show that family car dealers overprice badly. Subscribe for reliable picks, smarter buying, and fewer payment regrets.